Hi guys, so this is part two. This is the follow-up of one of the, what did I title it? One thing that I wish I knew a while ago, a long time ago, that would have made my journey to, healing and being a better partner for my horse a lot easier. So if you haven't watched part one, I encourage you to go and do that now, because otherwise what I say this time might not really make a whole lot of sense to you. So as a continuation to my thoughts that I shared earlier, is I feel like we can apply this exact same method with our horses. So if we think that all of the emotions and all of the memories that a horse experiences through their entire life are in filing cabinets in their brains, then that's where it starts to make sense when your horse experienced something that, whether it was, validated or not, that they were traumatized, whether it's a bag rolling across their pasture, they were terrified for whatever reason. And that doesn't just go away, right? We can't just expect them to just get over it. We literally have to help our horses retrain their own brain. Now, this can be something from very traumatic, like they were in an accident while being in a horse trailer. Maybe they had a really bad fall when you were riding them. They got stuck in quicksand. They got really, really sick, but it can be something as minor as someone walked out of the tack room, the door blew open, and they thought, oh my gosh, someone's coming out to eat me. And now every time you come out of that tack room, they're concerned. For them, all they knew was something happened, they got scared, and then maybe things escalated. And even though it might have been 2 months, 6 months, 6 years ago, that memory is still going to be locked away in their brain. And so it's up to us to actually help them through that, to access that memory and to help them rewire their brain to stop associating the scary tack shed, the horse trailer, that plastic bag with a feeling of trauma. And that doesn't obviously happen overnight. Just like me and you, retraining a new habit takes time. For example, just change the location of your kitchen garbage and you will know exactly what I mean, because it takes me over a week, and I go to the garbage often to put stuff in it. It takes me over a week of, I want to say, let's say like 20 to 30 times a day when I go to my garbage. That's a lot to finally remember and automatically go to the new location. So think about that in relation to you trying to rewire your brain, or you trying to help your horse rewire its brain. Because I think so often we work with our horses and, okay, so we'll just use a plastic bag because most people desensitize with a plastic bag. And you work with them one day and they're accepting of it, they understand it, and you think, oh, awesome, that's great. And then you move on to the next day. Now, whether it's actually 24 hours later or maybe it's 2 or 3 days, and it's like your horse is terrified of this stupid plastic bag all over again. And it's so easy to get stuck in that frustration mode. Like, how do you not get it? But for them, they only thought about that plastic bag during that last session, and then it would have completely left their mind. It's not like they went back out to the pasture and they're eating away and they're thinking of that session that they just had with you in that plastic bag to continue working on this trauma and creating new emotional pathways. So just think about that for a second and really make sure you're approaching this new mindset that you're trying to help your horse get through with some compassion and some understanding. Because when you try to create a new habit, it takes a long time and you get to think about it all day long. A horse doesn't necessarily understand what you're trying to do. And so at the same time, I really just want you to take that compassion for your horse and give it to yourself, because you're not going to obviously change overnight. These are practices that take time. And that's why I really recommend doing like an alarm system on your phone, so that if you have an emotion you're trying to work through and you've got your affirmation that you've got, to be the opposite end of it, and you really want to be focusing on it, is to set your alarm so that it's reminding you, oh yeah, I got to think about that. Oh yeah, I got to think about that. And that keeps your mind focused. Otherwise, it's so easy to go days or weeks and you're like, oh right, I was supposed to be working on my temper, or oh yeah, I was trying to focus on being a better listener, or whatever. And it's super easy to get lost in the moment if you're not setting those reminders. I find I was even putting them around my house, but it's so easy for your eyes to glance past the things that I've got written on my cupboards or on my fridge or on my pantry. My alarm seems to have been by far the best thing that works for me. So I encourage you to give it a try. Anyway, I hope this was beneficial to you, and it started to help connect the dots. And we will chat more on the next one.